Hello everyone, welcome to Halo Moon Tarot. This is your weekly reading for Leo. How are you guys, Leos? Let's see what's happening with you. The energy around Leo. Yeah, I do see reason to celebrate, a strong financial foundation, a home. Yeah, we got someone, this is someone determined to succeed, but it's someone who's displays self-control at the same time. So we have someone who's making good decisions. Now, this could be someone, let's say often a healing, where someone has healed, they're making a decision. But I feel like this is someone, it could be a reconciliation. Someone could be putting on the brakes, maybe thinking about reconciliation. It could have to do with a decision, but often this is just a healing, out with the old, in with the new energy. Yeah, it has to do with a home. It could be a new home, new vehicle. Someone here is actually making sound decisions. They're in control, but they're keeping control of their emotions. So I like this, but there's a determination to succeed. It has to do with contracts, negotiations, schedules, routines, structure. But it has to do with someone who has faith in their ability to succeed. They have faith they're making the right choice. So it looks like someone making a decision here. Yeah, there's a judgment. Yeah, we have a person being a little cautious, but I do see self-control, and I also see this determination to succeed. Now, there could be some sort of an agreement here. Yeah, someone feels they have the ability to make the right decision, but they are being a little cautious. But I feel someone's feeling very hopeful. Yeah, see, it's about two people filling each other's cup, giving each other what they need. Yeah, we have a person who's about to come in and take the lead. They're going to take control, but they're in control of their emotions. And it's about two people staying in control of their emotions. Two people being a little cautious, but I feel we have two people here who are actually going to be on the same page. Could be a contract negotiation. Yeah. Look at that. See, this is about two people. Yeah, nice. See, this is both people who have self-control, but they also have confidence and faith in this connection about coming together. Look at that. There's stability too. This is to do with the house, home, long-term stability. This could be to me, it looks like two people making some decisions together. Two people who are both determined. They both have self-control. They're both confident. Yeah, both. This is both people. There's a complete mirroring here. Oh, my goodness. But it is both people determined to succeed, but yet being a little cautious, a little careful what they wish for, playing it safe. But I think this is two people going to fill each other's cups and give each other what they need. Yeah. Tell me about judgment. Yeah. It's an energy of someone who was a little indecisive, not seeing something. So someone may have put on the brakes a little to take a look. Now it has to do with lifestyle schedules, commitments. Tell me about tradition. Yeah, I saw someone here, like I say, look at that. Someone feeling a little drained, not so sure. So this is someone possibly putting on the brakes, but now this is someone who doesn't want to miss this opportunity because I feel there's already a connection made. There's been a conversation or two people who've made a connection, but there's been some sort of indecision. Now, often with this energy, it moves quickly. Someone doesn't see it coming. So they got to put on the brakes a little and then take another look. But this is positive. It's still the same, where two people are going to connect. See, both people playing it safe, being a little careful what you wish for, because it has to do with habits, lifestyle, schedules, routines, structure, agreements. Tell me about, this is someone who doesn't want to miss this opportunity. I feel it's both people don't, but like I say, this is people who've likely missed opportunities likely in the past here, but this is long-term stability. It's about partnering up. Now this could be a place. We'll see. Let's have a look more at tradition. Yeah, some sort of little aha moment. See, someone puts on the brakes. Aha. So it's sort of like a win or lose. What have I got to lose, right? Yeah, it's just determination. It's willpower too. It's inner strength. It's two people who have faith they can make the right choice. Yeah, so someone who doesn't want to miss, they're kind of going, aha, they don't want to miss this opportunity. Yeah, there it is. This is a person going to lay the foundation. Nice. Yeah, look at that. Good luck and timing. So this is beautiful energy. I do see money coming in for some of you. Maybe a large purchase, down payment, buying a car, a home, a business. Could be a contract or a negotiation. But I do think there's somebody here who's kind of like, I want to dig into this, because it is often someone just a little drained, often not sure what to think. But it's also, someone who maybe feels they missed an opportunity because they didn't see something. Someone taking off the blindfold to see. And then there's that enlightenment, that little aha moment. Yeah, I feel this is determination to succeed. That little moment, right? The moment of truth. Seeing the truth, that has to do with why. Yeah. We have, look at the star. See, it's whether the feelings are mutual. And this is someone who's not sure. They're a little thinking the other person might reject them, might not be interested. But this is that moment where this person, and it is often someone coming up with an idea, but it is about letting go of control, but staying in control of the emotions and just kind of seeing what happens here. But this is about the feelings being mutual. Yeah, something here in the past obviously didn't turn out as expected, but it's time to release it. Okay, let go of control. So that's what I feel. Two people just kind of letting go of control, but being determined to succeed. But it's about staying in control of your emotions. It's about self-confidence. I feel it's also an energy of being self-aware. Yeah, two people here who are very much aware of the need to not control, to control your feelings, but not try to control each other. And that's another interesting thing. Oh my gosh, let's have a look at the star. There's a lot of hope here. Yeah, it has to do with whether someone, see, this is someone who the situation never turned out expected. So this is someone kind of thinking, well, it has to do with a person following through. The person looking at the situation. It has to do with why someone didn't follow through. Probably because they tried to control something to make it move faster. Yeah, and what I like is this. This is a win-win for both people. Why? Because you're both in control of your feelings, but you're not controlling anything. See, both of you, but it's about the two of you coming together. It's about face-to-face having that conversation. There's so much determination here. And it's also who's going to make the first move. I can see it. Who's going to take the lead. But this is interesting. Look at doing things together, spending time together. And some of you may have had a situation with someone who put on the brakes because they didn't want to do things together or spend time together. So, but this is also someone creating opportunity. See, there's opportunity being created to go down this path. This is a win-win for both. I mean, but I also see someone buying something new. Like I see a new house, new car. There's a lot of good luck, money coming in that I feel is going to help somebody move forward too. You may not see this coming. But yeah, if you have someone here who ignored you or rejected you, it could be, looking at why, because of control. So yeah, letting it go. It is what it is. It's often where something doesn't turn out as expected. Like somebody here is sort of looking at expecting whatever's happened before to happen again, that they won't follow through. Yeah, so someone looking at the situation. Yeah, see, playing it safe, being a little careful. Someone's being cautious because they kind of feel like, and it is about control. We know fire signs often get into that energy, right? Because it's all about determination to succeed. But the interesting part is both people, both feeling the same, being cautious, careful. Okay? Not letting things get out of control, but still with that same power and sheer determination. Boy, this is two people totally... Yeah, it's about both people getting their cups filled, two people giving each other what they want. Someone never got what they wanted. And it's also because someone didn't follow through. And it has to do with why. So there's some little aha moment. Tell me about this Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, someone reaching out. And I do think it's someone ignored someone or didn't reach out, didn't respond, because they put on the brakes. See, it's all about somebody not following through. And there may have been an agreement. But is there an agreement here? Is this two people who... I think, you know what I feel? It's definitely a person thinking about another situation. But it's about taking off the blindfold to see. I think this situation's different. And the reason why, because I feel there may be no actual agreement, but it has to do with someone who reached out to someone about doing something together. See, do you want to get together? Do you want to do something? And I think this is somebody who's basically already said yes. Even though there's no time. See, it has to do with time. There's no time set, no real agreement, but you're actually on the same page. You both want it. Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, Queen of Wands. Yeah, and I do feel this energy of just kind of, you know, focused. I feel like there's something you really want here. You know what you want, but you have to let go of control. See, if in another situation where someone ignored you and rejected you because you reached out and took the lead and took control, do you want to get together and do something, and the other person ignored you, okay? So this is why I feel this is about a whole new cycle. There's a whole new opportunity here, but it's about building the foundation, starting things off right here. Yeah. I think this person, whoever it is, will follow through. And if it is yourself following through, finishing things, someone finishing what they start, but I feel it's more about this going in both people's favor. I think you both want it. Like, I don't think there's a schedule that someone just... I think you're reflecting on this, kind of looking at this. You want this. You're determined to succeed, so you try to take control. But it's not to control everything. It's just to get this moving. But it didn't go in your favor. You didn't get what you wanted. And I feel like you're kind of thinking that the same thing's about to happen. But I feel like this is someone who's likely going to let the other person sort of take the lead. And that's what I feel like you're going to do. But you can see it's about being practical. It has to do with the Queen of Pentacles, just being very gracious, calm, patient. It's about focusing on other things, doing you. But I also see someone very independent too. See, when you're independent and you're used to being in control, doing things your way, that's what I feel it's trying to say. And it has to do with this other person. So we have two people wanting to connect, but this is two people who are used to being in control. And that's what I feel is happening. Yeah. See, it's not about controlling. It's about taking control to get things done. This is someone who has skills. See, it's someone who brings something to the table. But it is an energy of independent. When you're independent and you're used to controlling things, it's very difficult to let go of that. So if you want this to succeed, it's all about, I know it sounds like so much about this control, but that's what this whole reading is. And it has to do with two people not controlling each other. Now, here's another thing. It's about getting on the same page. It's lifestyle habits. See, it becomes a habit. It's part of your structure. I also see a lot of self-discipline. So this is someone who takes charge when they need to. And often other people go, oh, they're always controlling everything. Well, then they need to do their part, because here it is. It's about someone who kind of feels they have to do everything. But it has to do with this person here. Definitely someone who's stable and very independent energy. So I feel the other person kind of has the same energy. So if you want this to go in both of your favor, you both need to Look at what both people are good at. This is two people who bring something to the table. One person's good at one thing. Someone else is better at other things. So you let each other control those things. And then you come together and talk about it. You discuss things to make sure you're on the same page. You're both in agreement. See, it's about compromising and cooperating. See, because sometimes people feel if the other person takes control of something, the other person feels the other person's just controlling. But they need to control what they're good at. Because you're both bringing something here. You're building each other up, right? It's about laying the foundation. So it's like a set of rules between two people. You're very good at this, so you take care of that. You're very good at that, you take care of that. And then you bring this together, your skills, and you talk about it. So actually, this is actually a really interesting reading. Fire signs struggle with this a lot of times. Yeah, because if you have someone who's, there, that's what just tried to come out. The Four of Pentacles just tried to come out. So there it is. It's about someone who doesn't want to budge and give in, being stubborn. See, someone being stuck, stubborn, or set in their ways. I feel like we have a couple people coming together that could be a little set in their ways. So it's about talking, making sure you're in agreement, setting up some sort of rules, a little bit of structure between the two of you. See, some people like, one thing about the Queen of Pentacles, this is someone who likes a comfortable home. They like structure. Okay, that's what I feel, being a little more structured. But I feel this is about two people going to come together. And I do think this is both people seeing each other in a very favorable light. You both want it. But some of you have definitely had relationships that failed, or someone ignored someone. I mean, to me, it just looks like not wanting to miss this opportunity, but having to release all these things that don't serve. And I think both people, and I think you're both thinking about it too, because it has to do with this judgment and this decision. See, this is someone who doesn't want to budge and give in. It has to do with someone who's become set in their ways. This is someone very balanced. They focus on each thing in their life. See, this is someone used to being in control. They're used to doing everything on their own. Now they have to give up some of that control to someone else. That's what it is, about giving up that control. And I also see someone who focuses a lot on money and finances, and it could be someone who focuses too much on one thing. So take it as it resonates. But this is about taking off that pentacle, giving the control to someone else. And it doesn't mean someone taking the lead. Absolutely it could be, because we know the feminine will often take the lead, letting the person take the lead. But it's also all about a relationship in general. When you come together, making sure you understand each other in agreement. You look after this, I'll look after that, then we'll come together and talk and see if we're in agreement. There is going to be a need to cooperate and compromise and let go of some control. If you're used to doing things yourself, see, someone's set in their ways. That's what I feel. So it's an energy of being kind of stubborn and stuck. Somebody here may have been keeping themselves stuck in this energy. So that pentacle has to come off for this to succeed. And it's both people. It's mirroring. I can see it. Both people are going to have to do this. See, it's about power, being in control, the power. And there is a lovely connection here going to come together. It's where you both don't see it coming. Now you have to make a decision. And what both people aren't seeing is you both need to, I see the determination to succeed. Like I say, two people who are very focused, driven, ambitious. But this other person may not be focused on this or on the same things as you, or is interested in some things as you. So it's all about letting go of control. Two people not controlling each other, talking, coming to an agreement that works for both of you. And I actually feel this could be quite lovely. So this is what thank God this card come out, because it shows me two people who are likely a little set in their ways. Someone who kind of likes to have things their way. So it could be someone who likes things their way around their house, their home. The Queen of Pentacles likes a very comfortable home. Maybe this person doesn't focus on that so much. They focus on other things. They don't care so much about that. So let that person, the person who's good with that, control that. Take care of it. As long as you both agree on some things, right? There's always compromise. I think this is going to be something quite interesting. Tell me about the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, see, it's about two people coming together, going down this path. See, it's two people already thinking about this. But this is a big decision. It's a big life path decision. But it's about coming together, working together, being a team. This is someone used to doing everything on their own, independent, having to control everything, and they've managed very well. This is someone very good at it too. When the Queen of Pentacles shows up, they keep everything in balance. They focus on this, then they focus on that. Everything stays together. The comfortable home, possibly even business energy. But it's about two people partnering up here. Yeah, it's about teamwork. Yeah. Look at that. Now we have the King of Pentacles. I think this is two people kind of set in their ways. So I do think there's someone who kind of likes to have things their way. They like to be in control. One thing about the Queen of Wands, this is not somebody who lets anyone control them. At least not everything. Okay? And I do see that, set in the ways. Someone who might be a little stubborn. They don't want to give up control to someone else. To do with house, home, whatever. I mean, it's funny because this energy also speaks of vehicles. Someone who's good at that. You can take care of that. I'll take care of this. Whatever it may be. Okay? Just as an example. But yeah, this is someone looking ahead, planning, preparing. They're also feeling the same way. They want to go down this path. They want to get together. This is about a partner. But it's about actually being a partner. It's not so easy as it looks when you're used to doing everything on your own. You're used to being in control of your whole life. Now you have to give up some of that and cooperate. So what I see is two people preparing for that. So this shows me this is two people taking things to the next level, already looking ahead, planning and getting ready, right? And I do see stability and being prepared financially, but it has to do with life in general. There's going to be structural changes, habits, patterns. I see somebody with a little Taurus energy. They may not be a Taurus, but like that energy of being stubborn, right? Not wanting to budge. Yeah. Tell me about the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles. So this is someone, yeah, you can see this is someone releasing some baggage, but I actually feel this is what needs to be seen. That's not being seen. Well, it will be. I can tell it will. Someone who takes some of the load off, some of the pressure off the other person. This person maybe has a lot of pressure, a lot of responsibility, maybe a business owner. The other person lifts. See, this is two people who are going to lift each other up. They're going to be there for each other. Someone who takes some of the responsibility, the weight off the other person. But what we don't want is this person to suddenly also, they're used to being alone and doing things their own, keeping their life very balanced, very structured. I mean, not to the point of regimented, but somebody who likes things nice, organized. That's the Queen of Pentacles. And then you have this other person. They may be very good at that, but not to do with home. Maybe a business. I don't know. But it's here. So, but this is about not putting all the pressure and weight on the other person. All of a sudden, oh, this person's now going to take care of not only what they took care of before for themselves, but now for the other person. Do you see what I'm saying? Suddenly now we have a feminine who is ambitious. They have goals, things they want to achieve. And this is someone who's very creative. So this is someone who's kind of been on their own path, and so is this person. Now you're coming together. So it's about lifting the weight off each other's shoulders, not piling more burdens onto the other person, because you have to work together. There's two people thinking about this, already preparing for this. See, two people have been single, carrying the full load themselves. See, the masculine's kind of looking at this like, oh my gosh, they can take care and make the house nicer and comfortable. They're very creative. But this is somebody who's on a path where they're very creative. They still have things they want to achieve. So they don't want somebody all of a sudden going, okay, now you have to take care of all this, so I can focus more on what I've already been focusing on, which is my money and my business, whatever it may be, right? But it's all about cooperating and compromising, not laying the burdens on someone. It's each person lifting some burden off the other person and just doing the things that you're good at. If somebody is really good at organizing, taking care of things, you let them do it. Letting go of control. So, I mean, there's very independent energy. See, someone who lives alone, I mean, often you'll get, and it could be the other way around, where you have a masculine who's very neat, tidy, and organized. In fact, they could be a perfectionist. You see, and it could be the other way around, where this is someone who's kind of focused on some other things. But I actually feel, this is saying here, Leo, that this is a situation. You're going to come together. You probably already made a connection, and you got two people already looking at this. This is someone who needs to make a life path decision. Do I want to live alone, or do I want to come together and cooperate and compromise? Now, you can do all these things alone and have all this pressure and all these responsibilities that keep you from doing things that you might like to do, like creative pursuits. So it's about, it's about winning. You're actually going to win if this person comes in and maybe, paying half the bills, doing some of the housework or, yard work, whatever it is you got going on in your life. These people could live in a condo, who knows, right? But it's just about sharing it. Yeah, lifting the burdens off each other. It's saying to trust your intuition. This is two people who already know the answers they're seeking. But this is something you're keeping to yourselves right now. You're just thinking about this, I feel. But you're going to talk about this once this gets to that point. And I feel like these are two people who often look ahead and plan ahead. They like to be prepared. So I think this could be an absolutely lovely couple. It shows power couple. But this is the power couple who've been on their own path, used to being in control of their lives with no one else telling them what to do. The Queen of Wands can be a little controlling. Okay, but this is also somebody who's very hardworking. This is somebody very hardworking, very capable. So this person has to give some of that control to them, because otherwise I don't see this working. But both people have to do it. Yeah, saying to trust your intuition, your inner knowing. Okay. Because I do feel it's about being single. So if you have someone who just wants to be single, if you just want to be single, now's the time to figure this out. But I think it's both people know what they need to do. There's two of you here. So it's taking the wisdom, the knowledge, the things that you're good at, taking control of that, the other person controlling other things, but you're still coming together, being a team. Yeah. Tell me more about the King of Pentacles. Then we're going to look at the feminine. King of Pentacles. Yeah. So this is someone a little apprehensive. It is about following through too. See, it's about taking off that pentacle. They're a little apprehensive. See, they're used to being in control. It's about giving up control to the other person. So they're kind of looking at this. I think this is a person who may have been with somebody who let them control everything. They're kind of, and I do see it, but it is about taking off that pentacle. This is about building a foundation, talking about all these things before you get there. I feel it's going to be important, but who's going to strike up that conversation? That's another thing I feel that's an issue. Yeah, because there's two people who don't want to miss this opportunity, but it's also two people who don't want to have somebody lay all the burdens on them, right? Leaving them with all the responsibility so they can't focus on their own goals. So this is two people who need to get on the same page. They need to figure out how to deal with this, because it's both people who want it. So you're both being cautious, probably how to proceed or even talk about this. I think that time will present itself. Tell me more about the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, so it's all about talking about these things, applying lessons learned from a past relationship. It's about talking about it before to avoid issues in the future. And I do see moving in together too, thinking of moving in together, looking ahead, planning ahead. Yeah. So it's an energy of someone looking before they leap. See, reflecting on a past relationship with somebody who controlled everything, but yet put all the burdens on the other person. So they wanted to be in control, but yet the other person was the one doing all the work. So, and I also see baggage too from past relationships being released. It's saying to look before you leap. Okay. Some of you could be dealing with an Aries. I see that here. Or Scorpio. It's just energy, but it's a person being cautious, learning to look before they leap. Yeah, we have someone all in their feelings, feeling emotional, but this is somebody who wants love. Okay, so it's about love, nurturing, caring. But this is someone who I feel who has sacrificed a lot in the past. They've sacrificed. See, that's what I feel, where somebody put all the burdens on them. And also somebody often blames someone if there's not enough money. Because maybe they didn't make a lot of money, but yet they laid all that. This person had to take care of everything. So this is all about baggage from a past relationship. So I do think two people both have a little, and I do feel they need to talk about this. Because this is actually a power couple, but I'm seeing power struggle in the future. Because I think this is someone who struggled. They sacrificed a lot because they loved someone and cared for them. They were very nurturing and caring, but they never got what they wanted. They never got their cup filled. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised we have two people who've both actually been through that too. So, but yeah, I feel that's what it's all about. And that's why sometimes people get to a point where they just feel like they want to be single because they're only picking up after themselves. They don't have to do anything on a schedule or routine to suit another person and have to give up their creative pursuits, because this is someone who's been on a particular path and they have, I feel, released this baggage. But it's like two people now coming together, and these kind of the things are going to come up here. Yeah. So don't sacrifice. Do not bend over backwards. This is what I feel it's saying. Teach somebody how you want to be treated in the beginning. But it has to be fair for both people, of course. But don't bend over backwards to please them. Okay? Until this person puts in effort and they show you that they make a good partner, that they're stable and reliable, that they'll make an agreement and actually follow through. Because I feel like some of you had people you've had agreements with in the past and they never followed through. And that could have to do with, that could actually have to do with even making a commitment, where someone promised marriage, commitment, or whatever, and they never did after someone sacrificed so much. And they put all the responsibilities on them, and in the end blamed this person for everything because maybe they didn't have enough money, but this is someone sacrificing a lot here. So that's where I feel some of you are looking at having to sacrifice again. See, being the housekeeper, being the one to clean house, to do everything, Here's what I say when somebody, if I were in that situation, this is just my own opinion. If this person wants everything, a really nice, comfortable home, I mean, it depends on your standards, right? It's all about standards, somebody who has high standards. So the other person doesn't have as high as standards. So this is why I feel if they don't have high standards, it's somebody who kind of like, well, it's your own fault. Your standards are too high. No, it doesn't work that way. Make sure this person has high standards too. I actually feel like there's two people that actually do here. I feel this is good, but these are things that are going to come up. So I feel like it's giving you a heads up to prepare yourself. Look before you leap. Don't just rush into this. Don't bend over backwards. Don't start cooking, cleaning. Don't act like the wife till you are. Because if this is one of those situations where someone never committed after you sacrificed so much, maybe even for years, right? Waiting for this person to actually marry you. If you aren't marriage material at this point, then don't sacrifice, okay? I see someone who wants love. They want love. They want that emotional connection too. This is someone who needs to know they're loved. They also need, and this is someone who is, and it could have to be where that needs to be learned, being more emotionally connected. This is often someone who has a tendency to focus on a lot of things. But I actually do. See, I stand by what I see here. I can see it plainly. Don't let this person lay all the responsibilities on you or tell you, blame you because you have too high standards. No, no. They need to raise their standards a little and not blame you because now, I feel there's a lot of baggage from past to do with this, but I do think it's coming to an end. I do think this is where this is two people going to talk. I mean, this could be a couple going through this right now. But I feel we got two people who've made a connection. They're going to come together. This is about avoiding a power struggle in the future. But if you have someone who tried to control you or blamed you for everything in the past, and you sacrificed so much, and now you're focused and you've been on this path where you're focusing on you doing you, and I see some of you doing beautifully. Don't let this person take that away from you so that you empower them and you do all the compromising while they just stay doing what they do. Okay? I don't see that actually happening, but I do think it's something that needs to be discussed. Make sure that you understand it. And if there is a prenup or anything like that, this is another thing that prenups are positive for, is when that kind of situation arises, well, you stay home and you cook and you clean and you take care of the children, whatever. You do all this stuff while I go out and make money. And then the relationship doesn't work and the other person blames the other person, right? So make sure that stuff is considered, because that's work. That's work. And you should be rewarded for your work. And that's what I feel. Someone here never really ever got what they wanted. They never got rewarded for their work. They never got anything after sacrificing, enabling this person to become more successful, or the person from the past. So this is what you need to look at and to make it very clear. Because if somebody wants a prenup and then that's how it's going to go, make sure that's taken into consideration. So it's all about looking out for yourself. The Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands are two people who look out for themselves. So, but I feel we have a feminine who's become very independent, used to doing things on their own. Now you're connecting with someone, and I do think you could absolutely be the power couple if you put your energies together and you do things right. But do not be the one to do. Some of you, Queen of Wands, you may have to sacrifice and compromise a little, okay? But this person needs to as well. So don't have somebody pile all the chores, everything on you, and then they don't follow through, okay, on any agreements. I would say, too, put a ring on it. Before you start cooking and cleaning for somebody or doing things like that, put a ring on it. Don't lose focus on your own goals. There it is. Happiness, getting your cup filled. See, some of you may be finally meeting your match. But I feel there's a little warning with this to look before you leap. And do not be afraid to bring this up. Make sure somebody isn't being sneaky and up to something here. Because this could be someone who gets you to do all this and then they never commit. Next thing you know, the situation lasts a year or two and bang, you've spent all this time helping this person succeed. And then when it's, time for you to want to focus and succeed, this person's not there for you. And then they blame you when it all falls apart. So it's about that blame game too. But I do feel it's just a lot of baggage here. And I do see the sun shining. So it's getting these things off your chest, talking about it before, so you're not sitting there in a connection wondering how you're going to deal with this without getting angry. Deal with it first. Make sure you look before you leap. I think it's really important here to pay attention. Okay? Keep your eyes wide open here. If you feel something isn't right or you're not on the same page, don't sacrifice. Do not bend over backwards to please. Let this person please you too. Take care. I wish you the best. I actually feel there's a positive outcome. But it's telling you to see the bigger picture and make sure you get this person to see it too. I actually feel this is someone who does. I'm going to be honest. I actually feel that this is somebody who kind of has this, I feel possibly something that this person's had to learn. You see? Don't let this person act disinterested, like they don't care about these things. That if you have too high a standard, so if you want to have them that way, you do the work. No. They need to meet you in the middle. because you deserve to be comfortable too, right? But they have, you know, I mean, it's all about just being happy, two people giving each other what they need. So, and I do think that's what you're going to get here. Yeah. Take care. Bye for now.